Hi everyone. In this method video, I'm going to show you how to fork a repository, clone a repository, edit the files, and then push those edits using GitHub. So we're going to start here in the Woldring Lab GitHub page. Hopefully we all have access to this. And let's say I want to make some edits to the bolts2 pipeline, but I don't want those edits to affect this main source of code. I want to make edits without affecting this fork. So I can do that by forking this repository, making my own, from which I can make edits that I would then have to do another step to affect this main branch, but I can make edits on my own repository. So I do that by forking the repository. And to do that, we go to this top right corner where it says fork, click create a new fork. So I will be the owner of this, and you can change the name, but you can also leave it the same. So I'm going to leave it and just say create fork. It'll just take a moment. So now we're in our fork repository. And so some things to note. You'll see now we're in my account as opposed to the Woldring Lab page. You'll see here it tells us that it's forked from the Woldring Lab page. So these are still connected, but I can make edits here that don't affect the original repository. So now that we have our forked repository, we want to clone this in order to make edits. So we go to this green button that says code. I'm going to use the SSH to make the clone. We just copy this URL. So now I'm going to go to my VS Code. Um, and now let's see. So I'm in my home directory. These are the files I have currently. But now I'm going to say git clone and just paste that URL. Enter. So it's going to ask for my passphrase. Sorry, won't tell you that. Um, but so now we see it's received 4 objects. So now if we say ls again, you'll see we have this new bolts2 pipeline directory. So we're going to go cd into the bolts2 pipeline. And if we do ls-a for all, we see we have this .git file, which shows our connection between this local directory to our GitHub repository, as well as these 2 files, license and readme, and these are the exact same as these 2 files. So we've cloned, hooray. So our next step is to edit this. So we're gonna say, first we're gonna check the status. Just says our branch is up to main, nothing to commit. We haven't made any edits. But let's say we want to edit, let's see, let me hide the floating meeting controls. So let's see, let's navigate to our bolts2 pipeline directory. We're going to edit our README file. So this looks the exact same as it looks on the GitHub repository, but we're going to say, you can edit whatever. We're going to say adding edits, for example. Control S, I've saved this. So now when I do this git status command, it shows that I've modified our README file. You'll notice that this is under the changes not stage for commit. So in order to connect these changes, commit them to our GitHub repository, we need to add this file so that it will be tracked. And we just do that by using, GitHub has really good prompts. So we're just gonna use this git add file. So our file is called readme, enter. So now if we use our git status, you'll see it's changed from red to green. And now it says changes to be committed. So we're now tracking that file. And to commit that file, we just say git commit. We use the M flag for message. And we're just going to say editing readme. Something simple. Okay. So we have our message. We say one file changed. So we've committed it. We've made our edits. But if we look at our GitHub repository, I'll refresh this page. You'll see there's no changes to our online GitHub repository. This is our forked repo. To note, this is still under my account. There's no changes here. And that's because we need to push our changes. So we do that by saying git push. It's going to ask me for my passphrase again. Do. So now if we look at this output, it's resolving deltas completed with one local objects. Yep, so we only edited one file. It resolved the changes. So now if we say git status, you'll see we're back to up to date with our main, nothing to commit. And if we go to our GitHub repository, refresh the page, yay, we see our adding edits, for example. So now we've pushed our edits. But you'll also note that this says this branch is one commit ahead of the Woldring Lab um, repository. So let's go back and look. So if we go away from my forked repository back to the Woldring Lab, you'll see we don't see that edit to the README file. That's because we would need to push the changes between my forked repository. We have to contribute that, make a pull request, sorry. Um, and we can do that by opening a pull request. I'm not going to do that now because our edits were simple, but it would be as simple as saying create pull request here. You can add a little info. And that's it. That is how you fork a repository, clone a repository, make edits, and then push those edits. Yeah, simple as pie.